Hey, it is an unstoppable day. Welcome to another episode of the Unstoppable Author Showcase on the Unstoppable Story Show. I'm your host, Terrence, the Unstoppable Coach Leffridge, and we've got some great guests for you here today, talking about this great event, this great collaboration between Unstoppable Coaching Services and BTBY. Now, you guys have heard me talk about BTBY forever now, but for those who may have missed it, BTBY stands for Becoming the Better You. Becoming the Better You. It's our goal to help everybody across the planet, everyone who comes within our eyesight, everyone who comes within earshot of what we're doing. We're going to be letting them know about how you can partner with us to become the better version of yourself each and every day. And if you decide to do that, then you can't help but to become unstoppable. So now we're going to be in Chicago on May 25th. May 25th. Make sure you get your tickets for this great event. It's going to be live and in person, an Unstoppable Author Showcase, where we're going to be talking about our book. And you saw the book at the beginning. It is our book, Becoming the Better You. Becoming the Better You. The world is ready. Bam! Right there on the screen, right there on Johnny's screen. We're going to be talking about over 26 different authors in the book, Becoming the Better You, who are ready to let the world know that they're ready to become a better version of themselves, and they're ready to help you do the same. But wait, there's more. We're not only going to have authors from our book, but we're going to have authors from across the country, across the Chicagoland area, who also are authors, becoming the better version of themselves as authors and as speakers and as promoters of their products. They'll have their face in the place. So it's a free event. You can see it scrolling down underneath these beautiful people that are on the screen with me. Go ahead and register now at that link. It's a free event. And guess what, guys? You cannot beat summertime in Chi-Town, my town. And if you want to go and have a phenomenal Memorial Day weekend, plus check out these phenomenal authors, plus pick up some books that are going to help you become a better you in 2024 and beyond, then have your face in the place. Now, I've been talking a whole lot, but you see two other beautiful people on the screen. They just have to be some of the co-authors in our book, Becoming the Better You. The world is ready. Now, I'm a gentleman, so I always start first with the ladies because they look better anyway. So let's first introduce to the stage Miss Kenya Craftsmester. Hey, Kenya, how are you?
I'm doing excellent. How are you, Mr. Unstoppable? Are you having an amazing birthday month?
I am having an amazing birthday month, and happy birthday to you too, and all of the Aries Nation. We celebrate all month long. I'll put my Cash App in towards the end. That's okay. Thank you so much for taking time out of your birthday month to hang out with us. And I see you brought your other half. Some may call him your better half, or I call him your equal half of the phenomenal dynamic avocado duo is John E. Avocado. Hey, Johnny, how are you?
Man, I am outstanding and fantastic, and I hope you guys are too, man.
We are, yes, and we've got our fearless leader, Brenda Ringwood, the CEO of Becoming the Best You, watching us around the globe, wherever she may be globe trotting right now. So thank you so much, Brenda, for being here. But hey, guys, let's take a second. We're going to have each one of you talk about why you're in the book and why people should have their face in the place on May 25th in Chicago as we expand the BTBY movement to all the other unstoppable people that we are looking to connect with. So I'm going to start with you, Kenya, and just tell us why you decided to be a part of BTBY and why you decided to be a part of this book.
Wow. So the BTBY has just become a force in our life. We met another author in the book, Chuck Doyle, through a mutual friend. And then he introduced John to Brenda. And just a few short months after that, John was speaking at the conference, the BTBY Experience in St. Louis in 2022, or was that actually 2023? It seems so long, but it really wasn't that long ago. And then, boom, it inspired me. I saw everybody up on the stage, and I took the BTBS, the Become the Best Speaker course. It was amazing. I recommend it to everybody. And then I got to get up on stage with John in October, or not October, in August of 2023. And I wanted to share a lot of what we spoke in the book, because so many people, I never thought I would be able to say I was part of a power couple, but so many people started calling us that and ask about how we work together and how this has worked out for us. And so I put a few tips and tricks in the book.
I love it. Now, you know what? You're a little shy, so if you don't mind, can I expound upon your story a little bit and you fill in some more blanks for us? Is that okay?
Absolutely.
So, Kenya, for when we first met, it was really Johnny that was out in front. But you saw some things coming to that first event and seeing him on stage along with some of these other authors that struck a chord with you, right?
I sure did. I
What was
really
that?
felt that I had a story to tell, and that I should be up on that stage too.
Okay. And you mentioned to me something about this, I'm going to paraphrase, sidekick mentality. What was
Yes.
that all about?
I have struggled with self-esteem much of my life. And so when John and I met and got together, I assumed that because all of his friends liked me, they liked me because in association with John, because I was there with him. I was his new sidekick. And that continued on into much of our relationship until it's really been about the last 10 to 12 years that our major intentional journey of self growth and discovery has started. And I would say in the last 5 to 6 that I've really realized that although my husband is this larger than life personality and I'm often standing to the side, I'm his superhero, because if it wasn't for me, he would not be able to do that as well as he does, because I keep him organized, I fill out the forms, I make sure that the kid gets to school, and then he can focus on being the amazing avocado.
I love it. And you know what? When we talk about becoming the better you, we're usually talking about it on an individual basis. But becoming the better couple, becoming the better marriage, becoming the better relationships, that's important part of what we do. And it's one of the pillars that we talk about under social and spiritual empowerment. So for those other couples that might be meeting you for the first time, why is it so important to kick that sidekick mentality and recognize how strong you guys are as equals, not just as the face behind somebody or the cog that makes the big engine run, if you know what I mean?
No matter what the size of your team, everybody is important, whether it's a couple or a corporation. So, figuring out what your role is and how you can do that the best way possible is an amazing shift of mindset. And I'm not even talking about like traditional roles of male and female. If that's where you guys land as a couple, great. And that's probably a little bit more towards how we tend as well. And I still get to be a strong, independent force of nature that I am. So, but if you're a couple and the guy is the one that is really the nurturer and the caregiver, and the woman is the one that is the type A breadwinner, whatever, embrace your roles and whatever you're good at, and understand that each other's success is each other's success. When John is successful, I'm successful. When I am successful, John is successful. It's not a competition, it's a group effort. And one of the things that we realized that got us to this place is that we needed to communicate better and have shared goals and make sure that we knew what those shared goals were and leave room for individual ones as well.
I love it. I love it. I love it. When you win, I win, and together we both win. That's beautiful. Johnny, come on and unmic yourself and go ahead and co-sign on a couple of things that she just said.
Absolutely. No, she hit it pretty much on the head there. We had to come together as a couple. One of the instrumental things was aligning what our goals were, and the communication was where that started. One of the things that we discovered is that we hadn't even really, once we had gotten together and decided that we were going to be a couple, we'd never really talked about what our life goals were going to be. I mean, we knew we wanted to be a family, we knew we wanted kids, we knew we wanted to be good parents, and we wanted a house, and we wanted stable jobs. But beyond that, what was there that we were supposed to do together? And after we filled in the basic squares, we were left with time, energy, and talent that we weren't sharing with each other, that we were oftentimes working at odds against each other, going in different directions. And that, just like anything, as you could imagine, was unhelpful and unhealthy. And it was very destructive to our relationship. And it complicated everything that we tried to do outside of our relationship, because we were always trying to serve so many masters. And after we really began to and it was, difficult times for us to struggle through figuring out how to communicate to each other, we began to understand. And after months and years of communication, some of the things that we really landed on was that we didn't have a shared goal, that we were working against each other. And when we hit that one, and everybody kind of has their own milestones in their journey here, but man, that was so instrumental for us. And I think that for so many people, and I talk about this a lot, about what tradition is, and tradition is essentially just social habit that we've adopted. We do the same thing that everybody else did because that's what they did, and we oftentimes get in this false sense of security that I'm in control of my life, that I've made these decisions and this is where I am because this is where I want to be. Well, really, so many outside factors, including much of tradition, drives us to the behaviors that we have. And once you fulfill those check boxes or you find success there, so many people struggle on the after. What do I do next? And I had just a little bit of discovery of that for myself, because I ran across that when I came out of the Air Force. When I left my military career and entered the civilian world, I had to, essentially had some of this happen to me all over again. I had to reconnoiter and realign with what system that I was sitting in. And so my wife and I really figuring out that we had to work together towards things was instrumental. And she, and we talk about traditional roles and what she does in the household. Please don't think that she sits at home and cooks and cleans. We work together as business partners. Her history and education and knowledge and communication skills and organizational skills are instrumental, not just to our household, but to what my business is and how our business operates. And she's so good at it that I have to keep a hold of her because everybody else wants her to be their PA. And I'm like, no. I've been working on this one for like 40 years, man. You can't, no.
Well, you can share it at least with me. And with BTBY at least,
Every once in a while, he reminds Brenda how lucky she is.
Absolutely, and we are lucky, and not only because I am a gentleman and I love to let ladies go first, but I wanted to have you go first because your story really, it hit a chord when you first talked to me about it. Because many times as men, or many times when there's more than one person in a relationship, we can tend to take that other person for granted, especially if if we are the extremists, if we are the extroverts and not the introverts, and we just look to put ourselves out there. We can take for granted those people that are beside us. I'm not going to say behind us, beside us, making sure that things are happening while Johnny's on stage with that microphone. You're making sure you're out there getting those pictures, getting his good side. You're out there making sure that people are calling him John E. Avocado instead of Johnny Avocado. You're doing all those things that we can't do when we're out in front. We need those people who are just as equal to us to be there to help us to do the things that we need to do. So I really appreciate not only what you're doing for John E. Avocado, but what you also do behind the scenes for BTBY to make this movement grow the way it has grown. And I'm super proud of you that you have decided to not only be a master behind the scenes, but now you're stepping out into your own, because Kenya, you're becoming a better version of you. And guess what? The world is ready for you. So we appreciate you.
I hope it is, because I'm coming.
All right. Well, y'all heard her. She is coming, and she's coming to Chicago. So you want to have your face in the place May 25th in Chicago. We are going to be doing the BTBY Unstoppable Author Showcase. We're going to have 8 panelists that are going to be talking to you about their role either in our book or their book that they have out right now, letting you know how they are becoming a better version of themselves. So why don't we just take a quick commercial break to give you a little bit more information about that event, and then we'll come back on the other side and hear from Mr. Avocado himself, Johnny Avocado. You guys, you're watching the Unstoppable Author Showcase. And we are back. You're watching the Unstoppable Author Showcase on the Unstoppable Story Show. And I'm your host, Terrence, the Unstoppable Coach Leffridge. We've got 2 of the authors from the book, Becoming the Better You, The World is Ready. We've got Kenya Crafts Mester and John E. Avocado in the place. Thank you guys for being with us. And besides, behind the scenes, we've got the BTBY CEO, Brenda Ringwoods, putting up all the information, telling you to go get the book. You can go click that link below, and it's going to give you information not only about the book, but about the event. And some of the people, other than these 2 beautiful people on the screen, that's going to be in the place. We've got Michelle Mraz. Dr. Michelle Mraz is going to have her face in the place. We have Coffee Cup Chuck that's going to be in the place. Boy. We have Andrea Luzon. She's in the book. Regina Platt's in the book. Isabel Camacho Black is in the book. James Love. They are the powerful duo of Activate Your Power Now, a great, phenomenal organization that BTBY fully supports. Jawanda Rollins Fells, she's been helping us with our BTBY experience, along with her powerful minister in crime, that I like to call that couple, William Fells, and a host of others that are in this book. And you really want to check this out, because if you're looking to go on a journey to become a better version of yourself, then how else can you learn than by reading the stories of other people that have endured, overcome, and come out on the other side smelling like roses, but continuing to recognize that they haven't reached their destination. They're still on that journey to becoming the better version of themselves. Like our next guest, Mr. John E. Avocado. How are you, sir?
Man, I am fantastic today, partner. How are you doing?
I am doing great. Always a pleasure to be in your presence, whether it's virtual or in person. You know, you always light up my life because you have this unconscious way of not only being bright in your aura, but bright in your wardrobe. You always have that shirt that just makes people want to say, wow, all right, Johnny, what's going on?
So, a little more of it in there.
Johnny, you are part of the book. So same question to you as I asked to your lovely wife. What made you become part of BTBY, and what made you decide to have a chapter in the book?
Forgive me just one moment here. I should have done that during the break. That's very unprofessional of a speaker of me. That's why I've got, my coach here with me, and I've got my wife to remind me later that I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, we'll have another session.
But that's part of why I wanted to why I joined the BTBY. Part of what brought me in was the BTBS program that you and Brenda put together. What you were doing with that is that you were helping some speakers like myself take what they were trying to do and take it to the next level. And that's much of where I met Brenda and yourself, kind of where I met the BTBY, was through that speaker program. I can't recommend that enough to anybody who would like to take what they're doing on their own and take it to the next level. They really help you organize your thoughts and your ideas and look at what you're trying to do in a professional manner so that you can make a sound investment in your time and your energy, because there's somebody out there that needs your story, that needs your advice, that needs your help. And so Brenda and Terrence do a wonderful job helping you define what that is, what your message is, and how you can go ahead and start to really interact with the world and make an impact. So I want to start there, because that's really where I met you two. And, impressions and first impressions especially mean a lot to me. And so I can't express enough, and that's where I'd like to start the story, that I met everyone, including my wife, in these points and times in their lives when they were struggling so hard to make something, not just of themselves, but of the people around them. And I'm always drawn to that like a moth to the flame. And so my story began before that. I was a young man, grew up like anybody else, kind of mid-America. We kind of grew up in a middle to upper class place. My dad was a tradesman electrician. We were in the union, so we kind of went up and down with the economy, feast and famine as it went. And so we learned to be self-reliant and a lot of things. We had a very kind of traditional mentality about what happened in our household. And one of the things that I kind of struggled with as a young man is that many of the thoughts and ideas I had seemed to not fit within the traditions of the organization that I fit in, either the traditions of the city that I lived in, the kind of people and personnel they were, or even my close family members and friends. I had maybe thoughts that fit outside of what were considered to be their norms. And so, as I describe a little bit in the book, but I didn't have very much room to try to talk about a lot of this, is I really discovered that through long process that I found myself that I was operating in the wrong systems. That the thoughts and the ideas I had, which were, the genesis of genius, were squashed and destroyed in such a small system where thoughts and ideas didn't have an opportunity to survive or live larger than the big, strong rule of that system, that nothing can, move outside of this. And that's how many traditional households kind of were. My father was the rule of law, and, there was no argument with it. And so that kind of gave me a much of a mentality with how I had to develop my thought process and operate, because that was the major system in the world I lived in, was my, overcoming my father as the gatekeeper to everything, from present food to self-satisfaction, to the love I was supposed to look for, the man I was supposed to admire, and all these kind of things. So I'm getting too deep into it. But anyway, so I discovered that what the problem I had is that I was not working in the right system. There's some great quotes about some people that you become the 5 people that you are around the most is kind of who you become. And I thought for a long time and for a short period of my time that it was my genius was really, I thought it was such a, you get really little self-contemplated sometime. And it was, maybe I was a genius and that's why I didn't fit in. And for a reason, geniuses don't fit within the systems because they fit outside of it. And what I discovered, this isn't just a problem for geniuses. This is a problem for everyone and anyone operating in any system. And when I started to look into how this idea affected other people, and I looked into, like, say, people who lived in traumatic situations or a lot of trauma, like battered women or abusive households, the thoughts and the idea that you have that there should be a different kind of life seems foreign. That doesn't seem like a survivable idea within that system you live in, within that household you live in. And so what happens is that the genesis of your genius, the idea that something could be different is hard to survive. And we have to be able to find the hope within ourselves and connect it to the hope without. And sometimes when we're without hope, find hope where there is none. And we have to just build these ladders for ourselves to get outside of that. And long story short, I want the world to be a better place. And I know that we all need to be better people for that to happen. And many of the things that maybe I could do to help others is to help them connect to a story, some information, some knowledge, just to know that this isn't a problem just for you. It's a problem for everyone. And your thoughts and your ideas aren't foreign. You need to nurture and keep them alive. And you need to find the system where that's right for you. If you're in a place where you feel abused, misused, misunderstood, not feeling your potential, that is genius within you trying to grow and develop. And the only way that you get out of that situation and use that genius is to help keep it survivable. You got to feed it every day. And that's maybe some of the things that I could help and teach people. And that's why I work and do what I do, to try to help people keep that genius within them alive, to know that, yeah, there can be a different way than what it is right here.
I love it. Keep that genius alive. And because some people really need to know that there's genius inside of them. Some of them haven't tapped into it yet because they don't believe it exists. So thank you for doing your part of letting the world know that no matter how ordinary you may feel, there's still genius inside of you waiting to come out. And that genius is not just for you. It's not just a gift that God gave to you, but it's a gift that God gave to you to give to somebody else so that they can become the better version of themselves as well. You know what? Thank you, Johnny, for that. But you guys, I'm not letting you go just yet, because we're going to talk about a little bit why they should be coming to this event in May and why they should be joining the movement for BTBY. But before we do that, let's go to another quick commercial. Again, check that link below. Go ahead and register. Meet us in Chicago, May 25th, 2024. We're going to be doing the BTBY Unstoppable Author Showcase. Who knows, you may meet these phenomenal authors and decide that there is an author in you too, and we'd love to bring that out. You're watching the Unstoppable Author Showcase on the Unstoppable Story Show. We'll be right back. Yes, yes, yes. If you're looking for a phenomenal time, summertime in Shy, come on out Memorial Day weekend to the BTBY Unstoppable Author Showcase, where you will see these beautiful people in person on our panel. We're back with Kenya Craftsmester and John E. Avocado, two of the co-authors in the book, Becoming the Better You, The World is Ready. So now, as we left before, I wanted to come back and just as we close this out for today, and again, invite all of our colleagues, all of our audience, all of our circle of influence to join us in Chicago in May. I want to ask you guys to just give us from your own point of view, in about 30 seconds each, why people should be with us in Chicago on May 25th. And as always, I'll start with ladies first. So, Kenya, why should people come and see you in Hyde Park, Chicago on May 25th?
Well, first of all, it will be a perfect opportunity for them to come meet me in person and hear more about my story. They can purchase a copy of the book, and several of us will be there so they can get lots of autographs, not just one. And when you come, you know that the other people that are coming to check us out are out with the same mission to become better people. And it's always great to connect with those people.
And just for a second, talk about how being a part of this BTBY movement has helped you personally become a better version of yourself, and how have you seen it help others?
Well, first of all, I never would have thought that I ever would have been a public speaker. That never would have occurred to me before, ever. I had given up on the dream of becoming an author, and this pushed me to take the first steps. So the Band-Aid's been ripped off, and I have several other book ideas that I just need to pull out of me.
Okay. Well, great,
So,
great.
All kinds of ways.
All kinds of ways. And that's beautiful. And we recognize that how it has made you become a better version doesn't mean it's the same way it's made Johnny become a better version. So, Johnny, is being a part of this experience, I'm going to go in reverse order for you. What has it been like for you to be a part of the BTBY movement? And then secondly, why should our audience who's watching this or listening to this have their face in the place on May 25th in Chicago?
Oh, for me, it's fulfillment. I'm one of those guys who I've always been an educator or a teacher. I can't help but learn and understand something, and I love when I can help somebody else figure that out too. And so, really, it's very selfish. It's very. I wish it was completely altruistic, but some of this is very selfish. I really enjoy educating and teaching people. I really love to see people figure out things and understand it for themselves. I love when when they can even surprise me with what their ability or their aptitude is, because I myself had been somebody who struggled to come out of some places that I felt like I was really stuck in, and a teacher or an educator so oftentimes can do that for us, or a coach or a mentor. We get caught up in our own thoughts and ideas so much that just being able to try to express them to somebody else, just like we talked about a little bit in that speakers program, the attempt to try to express your thoughts or ideas as a story and make it be, so that it's all cohesive and thought out, and you really express the who's, the what's, the whys of your story, and left somebody with a moral or a story or a reason of why you told your story to them, really helps you understand your situation better. And being part of either the speakers program or part of the Becoming the Better You program, it really puts me in a room full of people who are very like-minded about this. They want to grow. They're eager for knowledge and information. And I myself in that way, I'm a specialist in what I do, but there are other aspects of how we become better people that I don't know. There's financial experts and gurus that are part of the BTBY. There are people that understand and know health to a degree that I don't. There are coaches and mentors about some things that, some aspects of trauma or lifestyle that I just weren't a part of. There are guys guys like Chuck who have been in the penitentiary, other people like women that have been battered. I mean, just that's not a place that I could talk to somebody. I could give you some generalized information, but beyond that, if you really need somebody to talk to, I would be at a loss to help you. And when I'm part of a program or a group like this, we have so many individuals from so many different aspects of where they came from in life and what they're doing. We all have a commonality that we're trying to become better people and understand that the way that we become better people is by interacting with others that can help us become better. And that's absolutely what the BTBY does. And so I'm here for absolutely selfish reasons.
I love that last part. He's there for selfish reasons. And that, you know what? We collaborate together as a group within Becoming the Better You to help you become selfish. I think I'm gonna start using that tagline. We collaborate as a group within BTBY to help you become selfish. Why? Because we know it's important for you right now to become a better version of yourself, to become a better version of yourself today than you were yesterday. And that's completely for selfish reasons. Because as Kenya said earlier, when you win at becoming a better version of yourself, then she wins at helping you become a better version of yourself. And together we all win because we've all become a better version of ourselves. So for selfish reasons, we want you to have your face in the place on May 25th, 2024 in Chicago for the Becoming the Better You Unstoppable Author Showcase. We want to see you there. It's a free event, so come on out and see all these great people. But also, if you want to get your book and make sure you have your book signed at the event, go on over to that link and sign up for our VIP option, because our VIP option is going to also give you your own signed copy of the book by all of the authors that are in attendance at the event. Plus, you'll get a chance to have some one-on-one time with each of these phenomenal authors that's going to have their face in the place. So now the event is free, but if you want to make sure that you get books, because we'll have a limited supply on site, if you want to make sure you get your books, if you want to make sure you want to get these $1 million signatures from Johnny Avocado and Kenya Crafts Mustard, then go on ahead and go over to that link, click the VIP package, and for a nominal fee, you'll be able to get the book. Plus, you'll be guaranteed to have signatures from our authors. Now, I just want to leave you with this. I joined the BTBY movement. Well, actually, the BTBY movement found me, because sometimes we don't know that people are watching, but recognize someone is always watching. Someone is always watching you. Someone is always studying you. Someone is always trying to emulate you. Someone is always trying to lift you up. And yes, someone is always trying to break you down, especially if you're at some place that they're trying to get to, but they think they never will. But BTBY found me because they saw that what I was doing individually, and they saw that it was in alignment that what they wanted to do with this movement. And each and every person that has come part of the BTBY movement have been unstoppable in their own right first. They didn't join us and then become unstoppable. They were unstoppable, but maybe some of them didn't know it, and they just needed to be a part of this movement to show it. Maybe they had to go through some things to get to where they are right now, where they're sharing their inspiration with you within the BTBY movement. There's somebody watching this live, or somebody who's watching this in the replay, that's on the fence on whether or not they have genius inside of them, as Johnny Avocado said. There's someone on the fence right now that maybe think that this is too big for them, that becoming a better version of themselves, that ship has sailed. Well, I'm here to tell you, we've got people in our group from as young as 5 all the way up past 55 that are recognizing that they can still become the best version of themselves and still contribute to the one or to the many. And if you're on the fence, then have your face in the place. May 25th, 2024. We'll show you that you still have time to become a better version of you in 2024 and beyond. I want to take this time to thank my guests, Johnny Avocado and Kenya Crafts Mester, for hanging out with us. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed us. Johnny, Kenya, if they can't wait till May 25th, how can they get in contact with you right now to start on the journey with you to becoming a better version of themselves?
Well, you go ahead, Kenya. I'll let women go first.
You can find me on Facebook and on Instagram, Kenya Crafts and Truly Kenya Crafts, respectively. And I'll put johnnyavocado.com. You can get a hold of both of us together there, as well as I'll throw my email up in there if you're interested in learning more about my story or getting some coaching from one of us. Let us know.
All right. And as she said, you're not just a sidekick, you're the superhero in your own story. So if you want to reach out to Kenya Crafts Mester or John E. Avocado before the event, then we'll have their information on the screen where you can reach out and get in contact with them. As always, you can reach out to us here at an Unstoppable Story Show, where we help people focus more on what they're able to do and less on what's stopping them. Go on over and join us at unstoppablecoaching.com. Or if you want to reach out to me directly, you can email me at tleffridge@unstoppablecoaching.com. But until next time, you guys, for Kenya and for Johnny, I'm Terrence, the Unstoppable Coach Leffridge, and you've been watching the Unstoppable Author Showcase. Stick and stay. We're going to have some more authors on the way, but make sure you go ahead and join us, Chicago, in person for the BTBY Unstoppable Author Showcase. And as always, wherever you are in the world today, you know what I say. Don't just make it a great day, but work on becoming the better you each and every day. And you can't help but to make it an unstoppable day. Take care, guys.